She was happy to start a solution.
And I think it definitely built the project to means that it easily added on.
Yes.
Great. So, yeah, just let me know what you need.
Okay.
We're happy to help.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Hannah did a good job on that. She says, "How much time should take this over?" So now you get to delegate your work now.
Makes it easier that way. Well,
Yeah.
she had asked me, she goes, do you have any stories that I can work on? Because I'm kind of in between. I said, oh, I got a couple.
No, yeah, basically gave her wrote the article for her, I gave her everything. So, gave her pictures, everything. So
That's what reporters like.
No.
Understand it, too.
make your job easier. No problem. No problem. Okay.
Do it ourselves. We can be shovels that work. Shovels go. Set it on the ground. Yeah. I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow.
Almost never.
That's like one thing.
Parking passes or something. Okay, still on Sunday, just a second. Thank you, CJ.
Dies.
So no.
It's working. I didn't even need the mouse. I didn't need the mouse pad.
It'll work out better.
I told you Ricky comes in. You definitely should.
Good byproduct of the weather.
Make sure. The street committee meeting will be called to order. It's 6:35. Diaz, Aurelio Diaz is absent, and Ms. Mount here. I call Bob Bianco to come and address us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's good to see everyone. Thank you for this committee meeting and the project we're going to discuss for your consideration. So this is another year of our resurfacing program. The bill, I don't have that bill. What? Yeah, that's okay. Another, what's that? What's the bill number I usually reference? 26-011. Sorry about that. We're going to have another year of resurfacing in the year 2026 for our annual resurfacing program. Next year, the plan is to do 22.06 miles. The cost is $4.9 million. And that means we're going to pave 122 roadway segments. This is the 42nd year of this program, so it's been very popular, very beneficial to the city. And there's a couple things that I wanted to highlight that's going to be a little bit different this next program. We've seen situations where somebody will complain about a roadway and they believe it to be in horrible condition, but 95% of that road is in good condition. But there's that one pothole, there's that one utility, trench that was in the roadway that's failing. And so the idea is kind of like the fly in the ointment. The idea is the entire roadway, the perception is that the entire roadway is bad, when it's not. We just need to do that one patch. So this next year, we've identified 53 of those locations throughout the city, whereby they're going to come in and mill down over the patch. Most of the time it's concrete or failing concrete. Mill that out and put 2 inches of asphalt back to a smooth surface. So we're just trying to fix those isolated areas where the perception is the entire roadway is bad, and that's not the case. So associated with that, our water, we have 38 of the water patches that we're going to be doing. Sewer, 8 patches, and then we had 7 essentially just street patches that need to be done. So 38 associated with a water repair, 8 associated with a sewer repair, and 7 associated with just a street repair. In addition to that, we will be resurfacing Fox Glen path. So Director has worked with, do you want to mention anything about this project in particular?
Yes, there's a community group there that approached us with Dave Dameron and wanted the parks to go ahead and see if we'd be interested in resurfacing. And I said, we don't have the money in parks to do this, but if you want to raise funds, we would do the infrastructure as far as the water bars and do the prep work, and then you could do that. And we estimated it was going to cost $60,000 to pave that path. And Dave Dameron was able to get a group and everything. They raised $65,000. So they exceeded the amount that we needed. So now we can go ahead and do that. And then we'll do the infrastructure work with the water bars and things with city forces and city funds.
So that's going to be part of the resurfacing program as well. Won't come out of resurfacing fund. It's paid for privately, but it's going to be a very nice improvement for that park. So other than that, it's going to be business as usual. They'll start construction in May, typically maybe even April, and then extend into through October. Historically, they have paved south to north. So I don't know if that's the way it's going to happen next year, but historically, that's how the roads are typically paved. That's just their own preference, how they do their operations. So I wanted to highlight also in the remaining moments that we have our website that has all this information on our website. So if I could just show you here, we've got the water main, or excuse me, the resurfacing program that you can get all this information. You can look up historical programs and you can look at next year's program. So you could also look at how did my street rate? So every street is rated and you can see, was it rated a 7 or a 1 or a 5? You can see when it was last resurfaced. You can look up project photos as well. So this particular one is for 2026, next year. And when you come on this website through the construction project, you will see percent completed and where they are at in the project. You can get all the council handouts, the contract. You can even look at Bid Express on how it was bid tabs. So that's for 26, and then you can look at the previous years that we have up here as well. The whole idea of this is just full transparency. And also, we love when people are interested in this stuff, right? They want to know what's going on and what's happening. So, and just highlight one more thing here. This is a 2026 map, so you can go in there and you can see the different roadway segments that are going to get paved. Excuse me. Sorry, there's just a little bit of delay on that. So you can zoom into a particular area of interest. And you can see the roadway that's going to get, so for this, the Shepherd Road, it's going to get paved. You can click on that and you can find all sorts of information associated with that, that street. The length, the width, what ward it's in, the limits, and then you'll be able to see quantities as well of how much resurfacing and how much work is being done to that particular roadway. So encourage you. This is Blair's mastermind. He did a very good job on this for our office. I encourage you to check out our website and look at all the different projects that we have going on, specifically resurfacing, and then we'll talk about water main replacement too. So.
Are there any questions or comments from? Nothing? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Mount.
Thank you for putting all this together. I was specifically interested in Glessner heading westbound between, probably it's worst between Mulberry and Sturgis. And I was just pulling up the map. It looks like that's on for considering for next year. So I'm just glad to see that because there's a lot of places where it's been cut out for different repairs. That's a pretty violent ride westbound.
So that one also is going to be in conjunction with the Glessner Street Improvement Project.
That's what I was thinking.
So yeah,
Good. Thank
we
you.
wanted to resurface it last year, the year before, but obviously with the project coming, we didn't do that. And that does bring up a good point. You might say, gosh, this road needs resurfaced, and please reach out to us anytime. We'd love to talk about, because we could miss a street, but sometimes it's because the gas company has a project that they're going to do next year on that road. So we'll wait to resurface it after that. We want to make sure that they're not digging up our beautiful asphalt right after the work's done. So there are those situations that happen.
Mr. Falkers?
Thank you. Thank you. I guess two quick questions. You keep saying next year, but you mean the next construction
Yeah,
season, which is in
26, isn't it?
2026.
Yep, you're right.
Just 100%. I thought that's what you meant. And number two, I see this is set up for caucus only, but I don't have any reservation if you would care to move it ahead. I'm assuming you would like to get the contracting going sooner than later. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments or questions? No? It's now 6:45 and we end the street meeting.
It's 6:45 and I'd like to open up the committee for a public utilities meeting. Reference to 26011.
Is that the, I apologize, my legislation, I didn't bring it up. Is that the water line replacement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, awesome. Well, thank you. Just as I mentioned, we're on our 42nd year of resurfacing. We're on our second year of water line replacement. As you know, we started last year and we had revenue come in, and this year we've got a full year of revenue expected to be about $4.8 million. So here we are again talking about this wonderful program of replacing water mains. So next year we're proposing 3.43 miles, so roughly 18,000 feet of 4-inch water main to be replaced with 8-inch water main. So, and we're anticipating the cost to be $4.7 million. 335 services will be replaced to homes, 335, and 30 hydrants will be installed. In some places, there may be an additional hydrant installed, but for the most part, the hydrants will be replaced. Okay. So if I could draw your attention, you have this map here. The way we've set this up is in 2025, our first area 1 through 7. This year, we're instead of doing area 1 again, we're going with area 8, 9, 10, 11. So, excuse me, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're in 5 years, you'll be able to go to like area 41, right? And so we're going to continue with that numbering. So we have all these projects based off of numbers. In our office, it helps. And it also helps for reference. So on this project, the dark blue circle, previous year, that's 2025, you'll see the areas that have been done. And then next year, 2026, the yellow circles, that's the proposed roadway segments that are going to get a new water main. Okay. So again, we look at this in terms of density of residential neighborhoods, any significant landmark spots or places of interest. We look at low-hanging fruit, essentially. That is, if we replace this 4-inch main with this 8-inch main here, and it's connected to a good main on both sides, that's a low-hanging fruit. We don't have to continue replacing to get to a good main to connect into. So that's kind of how we look at this. We've got so many, remember we got like 40-something miles of water line that needs replaced. So these first few years, it's just we're getting the low-hanging fruit in the best places we think we can get replaced. So just draw your attention then to website. So you can go to project map here. Doesn't typically take this long on your own laptop, so it's just a little bit of a delay here. And you can select any area you would like. So if I go to area 3, okay. We also are populating this with the pre-volume. We're still working on that. The pre-volume of 400 gallons, and then the post. What did the hydrant flow before the construction, and what did it now improve to? Okay, so we are populating that data as we move through the program and as we have time to post construction test the hydrant. So for instance, the first hydrant that was ever replaced in area 1, this hydrant had a pre-construction volume of 444 gallons per minute and post-construction 1,525 gallons per minute, a significant improvement. So this data is on our website for you guys to look at. And if you have any questions, certainly let us know. But again, our goal is for you guys to know what's happening out there. So we had a very good program last year. It's still going on now, but it worked really well. We refined some specs, some of our specifications, and I think we're going to have a very great program coming in 2026 construction season. So
Any questions or conversation?
we have, if I could add just one thing.
Yes, sir.
We have, we've designed this project in-house, and I'm very excited about that. Usually we consult a lot of stuff with consultants and engineers. It's expensive, but we've put together a team to design this. We've invested in one of our employees to get CAD training. So it's completely designed and drafted in-house. And also our inspection is done in-house as well. So the contact is Ken McKee, and we've got a city cell phone number that anybody can call him at any time, wondering what's going on with the water main, their specific service or anything. So I'm happy to see that we're able to bring this stuff in-house, and I think we're doing pretty well.
Continuing with.
Real quick on the finances, 3.9 million was received or forecasted for this year coming up. And your estimated cost of the 3.43 miles of water line?
4.7.
4.7. Thank you.
There was additional funds last year that were brought in that we did not spend as well. So there's some cash building up into that fund.
Yes, Ms. Mount.
Thank you. This is, just to confirm, this is only the 4-inch water mains project. The larger ones will be separate projects
Right.
with the other funding sources, not the tax levy that was only for the 4-inch.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how far are we like completion? I know we're not
Yeah.
completed, but how far are we now?
After 26, we'll have about 5 of the 40 miles done.
Okay, thanks.
With no further conversation on this, do you want to go ahead and cover 26012?
Sure. Thank you. Just give you some quick, this is kind of boring. I'll just be honest with you. This is to vacate a storm sewer easement. So I'll just go through this really quick here. In 2002, a plat was developed. We call these plats where lots are surveyed and a roadway is dedicated. In this particular situation, Hess Circle on Valley View allotments back in 2002 was platted. On these plats have easements. So when the surveyor and the engineer developed this, they have in their mind where they believe utility easements are going to be needed for this particular piece of land. Okay. Take you to this sheet here. 2 lots that are part of this subdivision were platted with an easement going on the north side of one of them. It's a 10-foot storm sewer easement. Somebody approached, a property owner approached us. They purchased the property and they want to build a house on both of those lots, a single house. So that house is going to span over the existing easement. Well, that's not supposed to happen. So we are just going through the formality of vacating that storm sewer easement. We put together an agreement that protects the city, and it's been determined that that easement is not necessary for drainage purposes. So this is, in my 20 years, this is the second time this has happened.
Any discussion?
So when when you vacate it, are they supposed to take it out or to leave it? I mean, why I ask, because I remember one of my resident in my area, she had a storm drain that had collapsed. There was a hole in her yard. So
This
how
will be,
does this work?
the easement is vacated. It's going to be his property, and the agreement spells out how he's supposed to drain his proposed property to the roadway. So the storm sewer is no longer needed
Mhm.
and will be taken out. It's a
Oh,
12-inch pipe
taken
that's
out.
not even really being utilized whatsoever as it
Okay.
stands. It was put in for an anticipated use,
Mhm.
but now their property can drain to the roadway and all the water is detained in the downstream detention basin.
Okay,
So
good to know. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There's a, looks like 8-foot utility easement just south of that, that's still in play. Is that I didn't know if you even needed a sewer. I mean, right now we decided we don't need a sewer in this location. Is that other utility easement a possible location if you need it later?
So
If
that
you-
one is being utilized.
Okay.
Yep. So that is what's draining the pipe that's draining the runoff from the road to the detention basin
Okay.
behind lot 23118. So that's already being occupied, and that one would not be easy to vacate.
Because there's already pipe there.
Right.
Right.
And
The other
then
one's
also
just a
moving
mark.
the pipe.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. All right. I understand, I believe. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I move that we go ahead and close the utility committee at this point.
Second.
Good evening. The time is now 6:55, and we will start the Public Affairs Committee meeting. And I would like to take roll call. Councilwoman Meyer,
Present.
Councilwoman Weiss.
Present.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Director Ackerman to explain. It's pretty simple. They are basically doing a modification in reference to Bill 26-021. And Adrian will explain it.
Is it on? Sorry, can't tell. Yes, as Councilwoman Robertson said, it is a very simple change. We did approve this quite some time ago, but obviously it wasn't priority to get it through. They needed, we sent this over in December county to get all the signatures. It came back to us on Monday, to Machete at Regional Planning on Monday with a correction request from the prosecutor's office for one word in the document, which we didn't expect because it's been previously signed in this exact format. She sent that over to me on Tuesday and also made me aware that this agreement needs to be included as part of her grant application with the state through CDBG, which is due on the 31st. So obviously we have a tight timeline there, which is why the late bill and subsequent changes. Really, the only thing that was changed was one word. And she recommended that instead of thereafter, we changed it to unless. I think that previous language was there just to avoid a lapse in services, but we can modify it for the time being and look at those things later.
Has the law director also in agreement with this?
If I may,
Yes.
Assistant Director Madden did look at it, so
Okay. All right. Is there any questions from anyone about it? Okay, seeing no questions, thank you, Ms. Ackerman, and I will call the committee, Public Affairs Committee to a close at 6:57.
Okay, we got a couple minutes until we can call caucus to order.
We just start back at the top and work over down.
Yep.
So.
That's real.
Like, for example, this one here, the big red one. It's through tonight and another. No good reason to do this the third time. And if we need that piece of equipment.
If there's no problem, then you can move this ahead.
And that's that value you have.
Yep.
Okay, I do have 7:00, so we will call the session of Mansfield City Council caucus meeting to order. I don't know, or Mr. Diaz isn't here. Are there any committee reports? Any community updates? Okay. Mayor.
I'm actually going to defer tonight because I know we've got quite a bit of legislation to get through. And I just got back from vacation. Thank you.
Director Andrews,
I second that. We're going to defer tonight.
you're differing as well? Director Porch?
Just a couple things. From the fire department, Captain Toussaint is currently attending a train the trainer course on ice rescue response, which I think it's a appropriate topic now since it's freezing cold outside. Although I know that this is not a common scenario that we face in Mansfield, the fire chief has ID'd this as a training gap within the division and obviously is taking care of that. Once Captain Toussaint is trained, he's going to come back, develop protocols, and then train the rest of the department. On the police department side, they'll be conducting a child ID event. That is something we do every year. They're doing that on February 28th, and that'll be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Buckeye Museum. And then finally, I just wanted to give a shout out to Metrich. Hopefully, council members have seen the press release in regards to the drug arrest. And I can tell you 91 pounds and almost 40 kilos being taken from the streets of Mansfield containing fentanyl and meth is significant. So excellent job done by them. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Director Converse?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a couple things. Just to give you some year-end highlights financially, income taxes met 100% of our budgeted expectations. However, they came in 2.4% lower than the prior year. Because income taxes are our largest revenue source and closely tied to employment levels and wage growth, even modest year-over-year softening is something we monitor carefully. At this point, this does not indicate a fiscal emergency, but it does suggest we may be entering a period of economic cooling rather than expansion. With regards to the estimated revenue for the final budget, we will have to revise our calculations. From an expenditure standpoint, departments continue to demonstrate strong budget discipline. Spending remains below appropriations across the board, with year-over-year increases tracking within expected ranges. There's been no runaway growth or red flag variances. And I also want council to be aware that the finance department is currently carrying several vacancies. These positions are being actively managed and all statutory payroll and revenue functions continue without disruption. In light of the economic softening I just mentioned, we are being thoughtful about the timing and sequencing of those hires. That's all I have.
Director Harper?
I just got, Deputy Director Madden just passed out the 2025 year-end report with reference to the caseload and efficiency there. And we're still in the top 10% of cases handled in criminal side in the state.
Okay. Let's see. I guess we shall proceed with legislation. Bill 26005, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26005 will be authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a fiscal year 2023 state and local cybersecurity grant in the amount of $20,000 from the Ohio Emergency Management Agency to be used to provide various cybersecurity services.
Okay, any questions, discussion on 26005? Okay, moving on to 26006, Mr. Fauquet.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is another grant for $13,380 from the Ohio Department of Development used for training. My understanding that this is being worked through the finance department. They're going to use it for some computer software training to upgrade the skills of the people up there.
Sorry. Is there any questions, discussion on 26006? Okay. Moving on to 26007, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26007 will be accepting a $2,500 donation from Warner Roofing. for the Mansfield Police Department Neighborhood Impact Section. And in speaking with Chief, he said this is to buy the swag for the public, Bikeapalooza and other events that we hold.
Okay, Mr. Fauquet.
I just, especially for our new members, this company started this, I think, last year, and they're making it like a quarterly donation. So this is becoming pretty significant that this company's really stepping up and helping out the police department. I just want to make sure everybody was up to speed on that. Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Any other questions, discussion on 26007? Okay, moving on to Bill 26008. Once again, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. This will be authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate an FM fire service grant in the amount of $5,000 from the Factory Mutual Insurance Company. I'm drawing a blank on what this was for. iPads, right. Sorry. I knew we talked about it. But, yes, for iPads.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion on 26008? And Bill 26009. Once again, I'm going to call on Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. To authorize the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a donation from the Gorman Family Foundation in the amount of $50,000 to be utilized by the police and fire department. And in speaking with both of the chiefs, I believe that some treadmills are anticipated and potentially some upgrades in technology in the police department.
Any questions, discussion on Bill 26009? Okay. Bill 26010. And I'm calling Ms. Staley.
Thank you, Mr. President. 26010 is authorizing the Public Work Director to enter into a contract or contracts for replacing certain water mains. Oh, sorry. 26010, authorizing the Public Work Director to enter into a contract or contract for resurfacing certain streets.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26010 was discussed in committee? Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Fauquet.
was the chair going to move this one ahead tonight? Or would you want to get it read again?
Can I move this?
Yes, we'd want to move it ahead.
Do you wish to make the motion now?
I wish to make a motion to move 26010 ahead.
Second.
Okay. It's been regularly moved and seconded. We waive further readings on Bill 26010 and bring it forward for a final vote this evening in council.
I need everybody to log in.
I'm in. Am I in?
And once you do that, hopefully the motion will be before you.
So when you change that password, would it have changed that one?
David, you're not showing up.
Oh, I'm in. I thought I'll get out.
It's asking me for a login.
Man,
Yes.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, motion is there. Okay, motion passes 7-0. So we will be voting on that this evening. Bill 26-011, Mr. Miranda.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to enter into a contract or contracts for replacing certain water mains.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-011? And I guess I would also ask you, Mr. Miranda, would you like to bring this bill forward?
I would like to put a motion to move this bill forward this evening.
Second.
Okay, it's been regularly moved and seconded that we waive further readings on Bill 26-011 and bring it forward for a final vote in council this evening. The motion is before you. Motion passes 7-0. Bill 26-012, Mr. Miranda.
This authorized the Public Works Director to execute and terminate a storm sewer easement agreement.
Okay, is there any questions or discussion on Bill 26-?
I would like to put a motion on the floor to move.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. To move this up for no further readings and vote upon.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded. We waive further readings of Bill 26-012 and bring it forward for a final vote in council this evening. Motion before you. Motion passes 7-0. Okay. Bill 26-013, Ms. Mount.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you don't mind, I'll do 26013 and 26014 together. Both demo orders. 26013 is a demolition order for 205 Lexington Avenue, and 26014 is a demolition order for 566 Reed Street.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-013 and 26-014, both demolitions? Mr. Fouquet?
Real quick, as long as Adrian's here, is there any reason we're down to doing just 2 demos instead of maybe 6? Or used to be the magic number was about 6 at a time.
So we are actually transitioning the demolition program from Mark Milliron running that to Jason Ramirez. As we're moving some things, these two were found to have waivers, actually. So both of these properties, the owner has signed off on allowing us to demolish them, so we wanted to get them legislated as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions, discussion on Bill 26-013 and 014? Okay. Bill 26-015, Mr. Fouquet.
Thank you, Mr. President. This one's to authorize payment to ES Consulting for $7,279.84. This one was set up with some miscommunication in the beginning, was required work that needed to be done. The IT group thought they had a trigger mechanism that didn't work out. So this is also a then and now certificate. They've got the funds. This is about the amount of money they thought it was going to be. And it was software installed to the cloud back in December. And Mr. IT's here if anybody's got any further in-depth questions.
Are you going to bring it forward?
I will. I would like to make a motion to bring this forward for final consideration this evening.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. If we bring Bill 26-015 015 forward this evening for a final vote in, wait further readings and bring it forward for final vote in council this evening. Who are we missing? Okay, motion passes 7-0. Bill 26-016, Ms. Davis Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the authorization of Public Works Director to enter into contract or contracts for the restoration of Liberty Park's bathhouse. 26016.
Oh, who's got?
Yeah.
Whomever.
If you have your handouts there, we have kind of a summary of what we're doing. This is something we've been working on for the last year or so, and we were able to get some funding from 2 foundations and some park budget money, and we successfully came out with a low bidder for Scout Construction, which is a Mansfield construction company. As you can see, we've already put substantial city resources stuff in earlier the last couple of years. So this would get us the opportunity to restore the bathhouse there and to its original shape and everything, try to historically redo that and reutilize or reuse that as an open pavilion for community use and for special programs at the parks and events that we have there. It would include restrooms, a catering kitchen, a nice open area, and kind of a walk around area. So this is part of our second phase. The first phase was actually doing some of the basketball courts and some of the recreation. Now we're working on this part here.
Is there any questions, discussion on 26-016? Ms. Robertson?
Thank you, sir. I just want to thank the Mill Iron Foundation and Richland County Foundation for their contributions to this. That's a lot of money, and to our community, especially in an area that has definitely been a bright star lately. So thank you very much, and thank you to the director and everyone here that's been able to do that in the last few years.
Ms. Davis Weiss?
I second that as well. And I love the concept of the community work, the collaboration with schools volunteering. It's one of the things that I truly believe in, and being a educator and someone who strongly believes in adding to our workforce and teaching our students to very much take responsibility for the communities that they live in. I think this is an important piece. So again, I second what she said. You guys have done a great job on this. Just looking at all of the input that's coming in. Last year, just the celebration that was done, the basketball courts were beautiful, just all of the community that came around it. So this is truly moving in the right direction to utilize our parks in these ways.
Thank you.
Mr. Miranda?
Is there a timeline for the completion of the project?
It's rather weather dependent, but we hope to have it by the end of fall. So maybe September, October.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. And I guess I'll just take this moment of privilege to say I think this is a great project, and it's great to see the collaboration also. And I just wish there would have been a little more collaboration done on the pavilion at the South Park. So we had something that looked a little more like what was there previously. So I appreciate the work and effort that was put in to replace what was originally there. So thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Anything further on Bill 26-016? And I guess I will also ask you, Ms. Davis Weiss, if you would like to bring this bill forward.
Yes, at this time I would. Thank you, Mr. President. And yes, at this time I would like to bring this bill forward to be voted.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded. We waive further readings on Bill 26-016 and bring it forward for council this evening for a final vote. Motion is before you. Motion passes 7-0. Bill 26-017, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, Mr. President. This authorizes the Public Works Director to purchase, according to the Sourcewell contract 017223-JDC, one John Deere 624 tier wheel loader from Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company for the sum of $277,529 to be used by the wastewater treatment plant, declaring this an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-017? Mr. Fauquet?
Thank you, Mr. President. I wondered if anybody could answer if this is replacing equipment, how much equipment, how old that equipment is.
This one piece of equipment, we're replacing two pieces of equipment that we currently are using at the wastewater treatment plant. We have a front end loader and we have a what we call a bucket loader. And we're going to retrofit this one piece of equipment to do both of those. So this actually piece of equipment is replacing two pieces of equipment that we currently have. They're old. Not as old as me, but pretty close. So.
Okay, any other questions, discussion on Bill 26-017? And I guess I'll ask the question, it's kind of the theme of the night.
With no further discussion on the table, I would like to move this motion forward for passage this evening.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Waiving further readings, we will bring Bill 26-017 forward for final vote this evening. Motion passes 7-0. Bill 26-018, and I'm going to call on Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is to authorize 26-18, authorizing the Public Works Department to enter into a letter of intent to negotiate and execute a conservation easement donation agreement for the donation of a conservation easement in order to assure that the protected parcel will retain and forever be preserved in its natural forested condition as a habitat for plants, wildlife, and as a buffer zone for streams, if any contained within it, and as protected parcel consists of the real property known as Richland County Parcel, Permanent Parcel ID number 0372850003000 and 0372850004000 located on Bowers Road, Springfield Township in Richland County, Ohio.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-018? Louis? Mr. Andrew,
Yes.
sorry.
What I'd like to note is that this is a significant contribution that we're working with West Creek Conservancy with this. We past summer did a sediment study, and the sediment study came back that there is a large amount of sediment and there's some runoff coming into our drinking water supply. So this easement will provide a good buffer zone to protect the city's drinking water supply by preserving it in a natural area that will act as a filter. It also will help us support environmental education and recreation. Currently, the property was the Boy Scout camp, and it's been used by different groups for several years, including their adjacent neighbor, the Ohio Bird Sanctuary. So we're going to be working with the Ohio Bird Sanctuary, and we're going to be able to offer primitive camping there as well, so that those groups that use that, like the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and 4-H, will be able to continue to use it as a camping area as well. So, but this is a really important part of helping protect our drinking water, and we'll start to try to see some more as property comes available and there's willing sellers that will try to get these protected property for our drinking water as well.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, this money's coming from Clean Ohio, which is very difficult to get a hold of, but working with West Creek, they've been excellent partners with this. So this is something that we'd like to continue with. So we'll probably see more of this as we get opportunities for easements, especially to protect our drinking water there at the Clear Fork Reservoir.
Very important. Any other questions, discussion on Bill 26-018? I don't know. Do we want to bring this forward this evening or have another read?
I would like to bring this forward. I'm in agreement, the clean water and with all of the other work that we're doing currently to maintain healthy water in the city of Mansfield. I think this is quite important. I also, to have this use continuously be something that can be utilized by our community and our children and give them a wonderful place and safe. I would like to, at this time, Mr. President, move this forward.
Second.
Okay, it's been regularly moved and seconded that we waive further readings on Bill 26-01 to council this evening for a final vote.
Mr. President, I'd like to say that it's approximately 112 acres that we're protecting. And we were able to get a really good price, but with the property and with the easements and everything, it's a real value, about $3.4 million.
Wow.
It costs the city nothing.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
That's always great.
That's wonderful.
And the motion passes 7-0 to bring it forward for a final vote this evening in council. Moving on to Bill 26-019A. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26019A and 26019B, well, those are companion pieces depending on the discussions later. 26019A, acceptance on behalf of the council of the city of Mansfield acceptance on behalf of the council for the report and recommendation of the fact finder in the SERB file number 24-MED-12-13884 with respect to certain issues in collective bargaining with the IAFF Local 266. Of course, then 2619 would be rejecting the fact finder's report for the firefighters.
Okay, is there any questions, discussion on Bill 26-019A and Bill 26-019B? Okay. Hearing, Ms. Mount, I'm sorry.
I'm assuming this is something we'll be in executive session for during council, not during caucus. During council. Thank you.
Okay. Being no other questions, we shall move on. Bill 26-020. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26-020 will be authorizing the mayor, safety service director, public works director, and human resources director to enter into a collective bargaining agreement with the IAFF Local 266.
Discussion on Bill 26-020. Okay. And the last piece for caucus, Bill 26-021. Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. In respect to Bill 26021, it's in reference to the revised agreement. And then if anyone has any questions or anything else about it.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-021? Mr. Fouquet?
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could make a quick suggestion up to your purview, of course, I would vote on 21 before 19 and 20, just to get it cleared up so we come back out of executive session and do 19 and 20.
Okay.
That's up to you. I move to close.
Been regularly moved and seconded. We adjourn this session of Mansfield City Council caucus meeting to order. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We are adjourned. With that, I will call this session of Mansfield City Council to order. Please stand. Remain standing for the prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Almighty Father, we ask that you be with us this evening, help us in our decision making, and grant us wisdom. Look over our citizens, our safety services that are out on the streets protecting us. Amen.
I noticed you did such a good job last time, even though I wasn't here. I did watch online, so I knew you were capable. Okay, with that, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Miranda,
Present.
Mrs. Meyer,
Present.
Mrs. Davis Weiss,
Here.
Miss Daly,
Here.
Mr. Diaz,
Move he be excused.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded that Mr. Diaz be excused. The motion is before you. Motion passes 7-0. He is excused.
Mrs. Mount,
Here.
Miss Robertson,
Here.
Mr. Fauquet,
Here.
President Scott.
Present. Unless there is an objection, the reading of the journal and correspondence will be dispensed with. Hearing no objection, we will move on. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment this evening? No? Okay. Are there any committee reports?
Mr. President,
Yes.
Ms. Mount maybe wants to bring up about the across the street for us to replace the Reverend's position.
Yes. We received an email from Ms. Shetty at Regional Planning to make us aware of the positions that are on their committees that we have representatives from council on. Generally, the chair of the zoning committee has held the one seat. There have been two other seats that have been held by Mr. Diaz and Mr. Acuchea for the last 2 years. Mr. Acuchea's seat will need to be refilled. So I spoke right before the meeting with President Scott and the clerk, and she's going to be looking into how we've done that in the past with legislation, and then we'll hopefully hear from her our next step.
I did.
You did?
email you back.
Okay.
Yeah, we do legislation on it.
Okay.
We need to finish out this 2026 year with those that are on it currently, and Reverend L would be the one that would be replaced.
Okay.
So Aurelio
Stays.
And you would stay, but we need to replace that NPO coordinator. And the one position, it votes on all matters, and then the other position that has 2 members, they vote on all NPO transportation matters.
Correct.
And you have to be available to go to the meetings and be involved in it. So if anybody is interested in that position, let me know. We'll do legislation and appoint you to finish out the 26 year. And then the next term would be 27 to 29.
Mr. Fauquet.
One other item, I'm currently on the historic preservation, but every year I offer to give it up to anybody who's interested. So just see me if you're interested.
You do such a great job, though.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Good. I'm sure he does. I was going to make a smart comment. Well, you know, historical, you know.
Experience.
Okay. Moving on. Mayor and directors, do you have anything? Okay. We shall now proceed with legislation. With that, I'll call on Ms. Daly.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move with respect to Bill 26017, 26019A, 26019B, 26020, 26021, that the rule requiring legislation be submitted by Monday at 4 p.m. Be by Monday at 4 p.m. be suspended, and that Bill 26017, 26019A, 26019B, 26020, 26021 be allowed on the floor this evening.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded. The motion to, for the monthly deadline is before you. Council shall cast their vote. Okay, motion passes 7-0. Suspension of the rules.
Suspension of the rules. I move with respect to all bills that come before council this evening that the rule requiring reading on 3 different days be suspended, and that each bill be read one time by title only.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded that we, for the suspension of the rules. That motion passes 7-0. So I'm guessing now would be the time to go into executive session before we proceed with all the legislation. Let's do it now. Somebody's got to make a motion.
Yeah, I was expecting to do it when my legislation came up.
Or we can wait until.
Well, yeah, then maybe some of these people, because if we've already moved that bill to, if we were going to do the last bill before these, then others could leave.
Okay.
If they so choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll keep prodding along until we come to the end there. Bill 26-005, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26005 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-005.
Authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a FY 2023 state and local cybersecurity grant in the amount of $20,000 from the Ohio Emergency Management Agency to be used to provide various cybersecurity services and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-005? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26005 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of 26-005. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-006, Mr. Falquette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26006 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-006.
Authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a Tech Cred grant in the amount of $13,380 from the Ohio Department of Development to be used to reimburse the city for training and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-006? Hearing none, Mr. Falquette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26006 be placed upon the floor for final consideration.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-006. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-007, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-007 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-007.
to accept and appropriate a donation from Warner Roofing in the amount of $2,500 for the Mansfield Police Department Neighborhood Impact Section.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-007? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-007 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-007. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-008. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-008 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Clerk shall read Bill 26-008.
Authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a FM Fire Service Grant in the amount of $5,000 from the Factory Mutual Insurance Company and declaring an emergency.
Was there any discussion on Bill 26-008? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-008 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage. Bill 26-008. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-009. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-009 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-009.
To authorize the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a donation from the Gorman Family Foundation in the amount of $50,000 to be utilized by the police and fire departments.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-009? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-009 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage. Bill 26-009. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 20-010. Ms. Daly?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26010 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-010.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to enter into a contract or contracts for resurfacing certain streets.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-010? Hearing none. Ms. Daly?
I move that Bill 26010 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-010. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-011. Mr. Miranda?
I move that we put on the floor Bill 26011 to be read and placed for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-011.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to enter into a contract or contracts for replacing certain water mains.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-011? Hearing none. Mr. Miranda?
I move to place the final passage of 26011 on the floor for voting.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-011. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-012. Mr. Miranda?
I move that Bill 26012 be placed on the floor, read, and open discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-012.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to execute a termination of storm sewer easement agreement.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-012? Hearing none. Mr. Miranda?
I move that the bill be placed on the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-012. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-011. Miss Mount? 13, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26013 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-013.
Declaring the remains of a designated deteriorated single-story vinyl-sided commercial structure with no outbuildings, 205 Lexington Avenue, to be insecure, unsafe, structurally defective, and dangerous to life and other property, directing the demolition thereof by city forces or contract labor, materials, and equipment, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-013? Hearing none, Ms. Mount.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26013 be placed upon the floor for final consideration.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage. Bill 26-013. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-014, Ms. Mount.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26014 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Clerk shall read Bill 26-014.
Declaring the remains of a designated deteriorated single-story vinyl-sided residential structure with miscellaneous structures, 566 Reed Street, to be insecure, unsafe, structurally defective, and dangerous to life and other property, directing the demolition thereof by city forces or contract labor, materials, and equipment, and declaring an emergency.
Any discussion on Bill 26-014? Hearing none, Ms. Mount.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that 26014 be placed upon the floor for final consideration.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-014. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-015, Mr. Falquette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26015 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-015.
Authorizing payment to the ES Consulting in the amount of $7,279.84 by affirming a then and now certificate of the finance director and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-015? Hearing none, Mr. Falquette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26015 be placed upon the floor for final consideration.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-015. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-016, Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26016 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Clerk shall read Bill 26-016.
Authorizing the authorizing the Public Works Director to enter into a contract or contracts for the restoration of the Liberty Park Bathhouse.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-016? Hearing none, Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26016 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-016. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 26-017, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to move to the floor, Bill 26017 to be read and put into discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-017.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to purchase, according to Sourcewell Contract 011723-JDC1 John Deere 624 P-Tier wheel loader from Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company at 1550 Industrial Park, South Brunswick, Ohio 44212, in the amount of $277,529 for use by wastewater treatment plant and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-017? Hearing none, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we place the final passage of 26-017 on the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-017. Bill passes 7-0. Bill 27-018, Ms. Davis Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26018 be moved, be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-018.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to enter into a letter of intent to negotiate and execute a conservation easement donation agreement for the donation of a conservation easement. Wow. For the donation of a conservation easement in order to assure that the protected parcel will be retained and forever preserved in its natural forested condition as a habitat for plants and wildlife and as a buffer zone for the streams, if any, contained within it. Said protected parcel consists of the real property known as Richland County Permanent Parcel ID numbers 037-28-500-03-000 and 037-28-500-04-000 located on Bowers Road, Springfield Township, Richland County, Ohio.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-018? Hearing none, Ms. Davis Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26018 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-018. Bill passes 7-0. As I understand, we probably should move forward to Bill 26-012. I'll call on Ms. Robertson.
021.
02.
0. Are all three of those together? Okay.
021.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-021 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-021.
Authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a modified contract for fair housing services with the Richland County Board of Commissioners and the Richland County Regional Planning Commission for the 2026 to 2028 years and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-021? Hearing none. Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-021 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Council cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-021. Bill passes 7-0.
I make a motion that we move into executive session to discuss collective bargaining. I'd like to also invite Director May into our executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's been regularly moved and seconded that we adjourn into executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining. All in favor? We're going to have that. Roll call. Okay. What did I do with it? Great.
Sherry Robertson.
Here, yes. What I'm supposed to do.
Paulette.
Yes.
Miranda.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Davis Weiss.
Yes.
Daly.
Yes.
Mount.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we are adjourned into executive session.
Go good. So they can't complain about putting stuff in the GIS. Give them something else. You sure like that doesn't work for you? Oh, you're in, just stop right there. Yeah. Cut it off.
That was.
There you go.
Hey, you know, what are you gonna do to get the win?
What are you talking about? You can't talk, you can't joke about that. Well, you can't hold you out in the airport. They think it did you that. You had your bag with you the entire time. Well, except the three, I know. Oh. Anybody want to take any friendly wagers? How long they'll be back?
Sharon said, 25. It could be, gosh.
Has the union already voted on that? They voted yesterday, today, and then tomorrow morning.
I make a motion that we return from executive session.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded that we reconvene from executive session. Take a roll call.
Robertson,
Here.
Paulcat,
Here.
Miranda,
Here.
Meyer, Davis Weiss,
Here.
Daly,
Here.
Mount,
Yes, I'm here.
Scott.
Here. Okay, we shall continue with legislation. We'll call on Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I make a motion that we accept Bill 26-019A.
Second.
And yeah, we'll give everybody a minute to log back in.
Quick point of order. Do we need to make a motion to put it on the floor for discussion before that motion?
Yep. I make a motion that we better put my glasses back on. I make a motion that we
Place 2619 on the floor for discussion.
we read Bill 26-19A, place it on the floor for discussion.
Second the revision.
Thank you.
Oh, everybody's heard the motion. All in favor, clerk will now read the bill.
Sorry.
I know. Got out of-
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, froze my.
Sucked our brains right out. Jeez.
All right. Acceptance on behalf of the Council of City of Mansfield, Ohio, of the report and recommendation of the fact finder in SERB file number 24-MED-12-1384 with respect to certain issues in collective bargaining with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 266, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-019A? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-019A be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-019A. Bill passes 7-0. And we have one last piece of legislation, Bill 26-020. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-020 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on Bill? Clerk shall read. I'm way out of sync here. Clerk shall read Bill 26-020.
Authorizing the mayor, safety service director, public works director, and human resources director to enter into a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 266, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-020? Okay, hearing none. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-020 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-020. Bill passes 7-0. I do believe that concludes all the legislation. Is there anything else further to come before council this evening? If not, I accept the motion.
Second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We are adjourned.